Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Dave Rivero, and this is my co-host, David Corum. Say hi, Dave.
What's up, guys?
This week, we'll be broadcasting on YouTube for the first time. We've started our own Steelers Sanctuary YouTube channel. Steelers Sanctuary Takes Over the World is well underway. We have my blog, the podcast, and now we're on YouTube. We're pretty excited about it, right, Dave?
Dude, this is awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this going on YouTube as well and reach out to a lot more people. So, yeah, I'm super stoked about this.
All right, it's been a busy week since last Sunday when we were last on. Steelers have made a ton of moves since they had to cut the roster down to 85. So let's roll over these one by one. The first thing they did is put Anthony Miller and Kyle Joseph on the IR. Both guys were hurt on Friday practice, right? I think. Joseph was hurt right in the beginning of the game, right?
Both of them got hurt in the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So then next move was they waived Master T because he got hurt in practice. They waived him injured. They signed Max Borghi in his place. He played with the Colts and Broncos last year. 5'9", 210 pounds. He ran a 4.5 240. I think you have some more stats on him from college.
Yeah, he was referred to in camp with Denver with the Colts as a bowling ball. Sound familiar, Jalen Warren, at all? And
it's kind of their type now.
Yes, I'm starting to see that. And then he had 880 yards and 12 touchdowns his senior year in college. He played in 39 games total, started 27 of them. He had 369 total carries for 2,158 yards with 32 touchdowns in his college career. He also caught 156 passes for 1,134 yards and 9 touchdowns. And he was a 3-time All Pac-12 conference selection. So the guy is a bowling ball, but can catch the ball too, just like Jalen Warren. So it's intriguing. It really is. Like they keep finding these guys that are like, can truck the hell out of you, but they can catch the ball too. So it's like, interesting. So I hope I can see this. I look forward to seeing this kid, tomorrow.
You should get some carries tomorrow for sure. They definitely have a type now. I think they've zeroed in on what kind of back they want. And they keep just rolling these guys in here. Like
Absolutely.
Teague was that kind of guy.
Exactly. Teague was the same way. Like he was the same thing. A short, stocky back that could thump you, could catch him. And, he gets hurt and boom, they bring in the guy, like literally the same exact kind of guy. And like I said, man, I'm looking forward to seeing this kid. I really am.
I am too. All right. They had to cut 4 more players to get down to 85. So they cut Doug Costin, Jake Dixon, which was a surprise to me, Cam Naziliak, the punter, who we knew was gone, and Chris Owens. Jake Dixon was kind of my little pet undrafted free agent hopeful guy. And he must have been bad because some of these backup tackles the Steelers still have on this roster are terrible. So Jake Dixon must have been, I don't know.
Well, the main thing I factor in is if you never hear their damn name, all camp, you don't hear the name. In the game, you don't hear the name. They must not be doing anything. I know that in some situations, sometimes not hearing anything is a good thing, but like when you're a guy like coming from Duquesne, like you got to do something to get, to get noticed if you have any shot of making the 53 at all, right? And you never hear his name. So you're like, yeah. So I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. And I'm not surprised Dixon's gone. Now, I know that he was, a highly ranked offensive lineman at Duquesne, and they were ranked high, like the whole O-line at Duquesne was ranked top in the country, actually. But at the same time as Duquesne, I don't know. The competition they're facing, it might not mean shit,
Yeah, I mean, he was a developmental guy for sure. He was a tight end when he first went to Duquesne. So, he was a former volleyball player too. I had brought that up a couple of times. Good athlete, but maybe he'll make his way back to the practice squad and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah.
The other 3, I mean, the punter we knew was going. Owens and Costin didn't do anything, so we knew they were going.
He had that one punt. It went to the 38-yard line. He got lucky. They let it roll. It was like, bro,
absolutely.
you got no chance in hell. Bye.
Okay, even with all those cuts, the Steelers signed 2 offensive linemen. They've got a type for the linemen now that they've been signing. They signed guard William Dunkel. He's 6'4", 328. And then they signed center Ryan McCullum, who's 6'5", 307. So they're the big dudes, man. That's what they're going for
the
now.
Big guys for sure.
I should mention they waived center Nate Gilliam to make room for McCollum.
Yeah, and
Dunkel, intriguing guy, right?
I have more on him. I don't have much on the other guy, but him, I remember I sent you that text. Like he had the highest ranking O lineman for his position out of that whole group. Like he was ranked high in run blocking and ranked. He's in the 70s ranking wise for his pass protection, but like
That's PFF,
overall,
right?
he had an overall ranking of like 90. And I was like, wait a second, what? Like, so, and I'm not sure why the Eagles let him go. But then I saw somebody post something or on Twitter that he had a horrible ranking in some other category. So I don't know. I really don't. I text you. I was like, dude, I'm kind of excited about this guy. This guy might be one of those diamond in the roughs that they find, every once in a blue moon with offensive linemen. So we'll see. We'll see whether, what ranking is, real or not. But no, I really liked that pickup. He's undrafted rookie out of San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd have to really go look up and take a deeper dive into it, man. But like this guy could potentially be a decent pickup for them.
And then it was Ryan McCollum. I don't know much about him. I know he was a Texas A&M kid. He played for the Lions last year. He was appeared in 13 games and only started one. So we'll see. Depth at center, you could never have enough centers, especially with Kendrick Green saying doesn't want to play center anymore. That's, that they needed more. They need 3 lines of centers for training camp and the preseason game. So,
well, I think they're looking for not just depth, but maybe somebody to challenge Hassenhauer for that backup position.
True.
They're trying to find, somebody that can challenge him for that backup position because Hassenhauer was okay. I mean, when he came in, he was noticeably better than Kendrick Green, but I mean, that's not a high bar to really surpass.
Yeah, that's not exactly.
So like that's probably what they're looking for. They're trying to see if they can just pluck someone out there that could be a really solid backup to Cole. Is what I'm guessing. But we'll see.
Obviously Hassenhauer is irreplaceable. So if this kid plays good, it's definitely possible.
Right.
All right, that's it for the housekeeping moves of the week. Now we can go into, I guess, the biggest story of this week. Devin Bush and that goddamn interview he did this week. I mean, it wasn't, from the outside looking in, it wasn't a terrible, he's like, if I'm not with the Steelers, I'll play in the NFL, but it just comes off badly for a guy who's been struggling, for a guy who's, not the Steelers fans' favorite by a long shot. It just wasn't a good look.
Dude, look, this is my pony of the week. And for all those that are just now watching us on YouTube, we have a thing called Pony of the Week. It's for all the stupid shit that Andrew Filipponi always says on the radio. This is, and on Twitter, so this is dedicated to him. So the comment made by Devin Bush, he was asked about his future with the Steelers. And this guy, I still can't believe he said it. He actually said, and I quote, I mean, it's the business. I mean, I'm going to still be in the NFL, so we'll see. How the hell do you say that? Like, that's the reply you give? Like, I when I heard this, I couldn't even believe. I was like, dude, you don't want to be here no more. You do not want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And you think that you're going to be in the NFL no matter what, let's talk about some stats. This dude had 41 solo tackles, ranked 150 plus in the NFL. This guy had 2 sacks, ranked 150 plus in that category. He had 1 forced fumble, tied for 81st. Interceptions, 0. Rank 150 plus. His PFF grade, and I hate to use that. However, 34.4. And he thinks that if he continues this, that he's going to still be in the NFL. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The Steelers moved up 10 spots, gave up a second-round pick to get this guy. He's playing for a franchise who's tied for the most Super Bowl wins, a storied franchise with a history of nothing but winning. And you got the audacity to act like that? For me personally, honestly, this is just how I feel. Dude, if you don't want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, then get the hell off the team and get the hell out of my city. Get the hell away from the franchise altogether. And that's honestly my opinion, because I got no use for a guy like him. I'm wearing his jersey right now because this will be the last time I wear it. I'm going to go get a jersey of a guy that I think wants to be a Steeler forever. And I'm probably going to get a Kenny Pickett jersey, to be honest with you. That's probably what I'm going to freaking do. But I got no use for Devin Bush. He can go. And I hope, seriously, I hope they trade him, whatever. I hope Spillane starts over him. And I want him gone. I got no use for the guy. Dude, it'd be one thing if he actually was good. He sucks. He's horrible out there. He looks lost, completely lost. It'd be one thing if he was good, but he's nothing. He's no good. So I'm hoping they either trade him, which I know this is all pipe dream. I get it, but like I hope something happens to where he's gone. Honestly. But they got, dude. But like to play like he's played, and the way they defend him, that's the other thing.
They all defend him.
Flores defends him.
Yeah.
Tomlin defends him, and this guy's got the audacity to say that when asked that question. Like it's just unreal to me. Like I got no use for the guy, none. He can go.
Like devil's advocate a little bit with you on him, and you can't argue with the play on the field. You just can't. It's been bad. Last year was bad. This first preseason game was terrible. Let's take the interview first. The dude clearly hates talking to the media. Clearly, I think they actually forced him to do an interview today that time this week because he hadn't done one, and he's not a media guy. You can see the shit he does on Twitter. It's just like he just doesn't have any self-awareness. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe him. He's got no idea what. So I can kind of see him.
I'll describe it for you. He comes across as an idiot. That's how you look. Because I'm sitting there, right, and I'm thinking, okay. I see a video of a cat jumping and basically falling to its death, right?
That's what I'm saying. He just doesn't understand what he's doing.
I could go this honestly, and this is just like say I thought that was funny, right? I would never share that with anyone. Anyone, dude. Like people take like animals like getting hurt and stuff. They take that stuff really serious nowadays.
That's Michael Vick.
People are very sensitive to stuff like that.
I think he still thinks he's in Michigan, sharing tweets with his buddies. That's what I think.
I don't know what it is, but like to have that mind process to think that way, that was what he thought would be okay to put on Twitter. Like, I'll never understand it. And he got so weird. And when he did that, he got attacked left and right on Twitter for it. And it's like, dude, if you got a problem with people in Pittsburgh, it's on you. You're the idiot that posted that, period. Like,
he's not helping himself at all. He's not. It's going to get worse because he keeps bringing more heat on himself. It's going to put more pressure on him. I mean, this next preseason game is huge for him. He needs to have a good game. He needs to show something. Get some of the pressure off himself. Get Steelers fans off his back.
But dude, like, just be smart on what you say when they ask you these questions. Like, dude, all he had to sit there and go say, hey, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I want to show the coaches in my worth. I want to prove to them and prove to the fans that, I'm going to give them all and try my best. Dude, I came up with that just now. Like, that's how easy it was. He could have said that. And he chose to make that comment that it's a business and he'll still be in the NFL. Dude, when you make that kind of comment that you'll still be in the NFL, that means you literally don't care if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler. And he doesn't. That's why I got no use for him. Look, you're either.
I think he's like a child, dude. Like him, yeah. Like correct. The reporter asked him, Like, what are you going to do? This is last year. The Steelers didn't pick up your 5th-year option. That basically saying that the Steelers might not want him. So I can see in his head, he just got pissed and said, screw you. If the Steelers don't want me, I'll be in the NFL somewhere else. It's not the way you handle the media, clearly. It's not the way you answer questions in Pittsburgh, clearly. But I just think when it comes to the media and social media and stuff I just don't think he's mature enough. And he needs to mature quickly because he's not a young kid. He's 24.
Where's the dadness?
I know the dad was a former football. I know.
Where's
NFL
senior?
player.
Where's he at? Going, hey, son, shut the hell up.
Point.
Like, what are you doing? Shut up. You don't talk like that to the media. This kid should have been groomed since day one to know how to talk to media, to know how the fans will take
You would think so, right?
Yes. And I don't think either one, he doesn't care. He's just, I don't know. He just doesn't have a brain, doesn't use it or something. Like, it just does not make any sense. You make that comment to me. Like, I'll tell you what, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? If I'm Tom or I'm, Art Rooney, or if I'm, any of those guys, Con, any of them, to me, that's a shot across the bow of them. I think I got a player that we went to bat for this whole time, and he makes that comment. Dude.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he doesn't do himself any favors at all.
There'd be a serious conversation happening. And then the next conversation might be with another NFL team.
Well, you can fix it real easy. Go out there and ball on Saturday night, get a couple tackles, make a couple plays, and we'll all forget about this ridiculous interview he did. We can all move on. Chances of that, probably pretty slim at this point because we haven't seen anything from him since his rookie year. This is a dude, 109 tackles his rookie year, 9 tackles for a loss. Where did that guy go? Where did that Devin Bush go? I know the knee injury, and I've made tons of excuses for him. I've been defending him on Twitter all offseason. Like I threw that tweet out right after he said it. I'm like, it's getting harder and harder to defend you, dude. It really is. It's getting hard. You play poorly on Saturday, then you shoot your mouth off to the media. And it's like, bro, just keep quiet. I guess he had to do the interview, but still, just I don't know. He's got me so frustrated.
Yeah,
right.
I like I said, I'm done with him. I really am. I don't. When you make those kind of comments, dude. No.
Yeah, it's hard, like I said, hard to defend. All right, Colin Cowherd's been on the Steeler bandwagon this week. He's talked about Kenny Pickett twice in the last couple of days. I heard Wednesday's broadcast about how he said, Kenny Pickett doesn't have any excuses. He should be the starter because he played in Pittsburgh. He's 24. He started 4 years. He's got a great head coach. He's got a good offense. He should be the starter over Trubisky. There's no excuses. And he rambled on and how, the kid in Arizona didn't have any of the stuff Kenny Pickett had. He started, he was rookie of the year, and blah, blah, blah. And then today again, he's on it again. First of all, I think Cowherd's an idiot. And I think he's just out for views and clicks, and he's just trying to, see which way the wind blows. Second,
sometimes
he doesn't like Trubisky at all. He doesn't respect Trubisky at all. He has no idea if Trubisky's good or not.
No, he sometimes comes across like, for a fact he's not paying attention. Like, he's not watching
100%.
Steelers training crap. He's not watching Steelers training camp. He's just not actually there. He's not really paying attention to what's really going on. And that's the way it's like that with a lot of mainstream, national media.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Like, they will say some things and you're like, wow, that's some dumb shit you just said. And it just doesn't make any sense. But what he had to say today was that he talked about how Kenny's now going to start, he's going to come in after Trubisky and face more the ones or varsity like stuff, quoting Tomlin. And he mentioned that he thinks that Tomlin is seeing what he's seeing. And that's that, they know what they have in Trubisky and Mason, and it's nothing special at all. But that Kenny is special and can be a successful quarterback in this league. And he thinks that he's going to eventually he's going to start. He thinks he's going to be the starter. And And he said, and he went into detail about how he compared it to how it's different from whenever Mahomes came in the league, because Alex Smith at the time was playing at a Pro Bowl level when they drafted Mahomes. Remember, Alex Smith had an incredible year.
Yeah.
He said, so there was no need to have Mahomes rush to be the starter. He said, but it's completely different with this because they know that Mason and Trubisky's not, they're not, right now they're not considered a Pro Bowl or a high caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
So if Kenny Pickett can prove that he's, legit, that he should definitely get moved to the front of the line and be the starter. He said that it'd been one thing if he would have got drafted last year, then it'd be okay for him to sit behind Ben because Ben still played at a level where, he had like 8 fourth quarter comebacks or, he still played at a level where he could get them to win. But he just doesn't believe it in Trubisky and Mason. So it was like a 4-minute skit. It was intriguing, but he's high on Pickett. He really is.
Yeah, I get that. And I get he's really down on Trubisky. I mean, this is the thing. You could tell how that whole show goes. He's got his guys that pitch him ideas. And he says, yeah, I like that idea. Let's do that. And then they give him a little background and he goes with it. He doesn't follow the Steelers off season. He doesn't know what's going on. I'll bet you he couldn't tell you one stat from Mitch Trubisky in that first game, how he did or how he didn't do or what he did, or because he's not paying attention. But the one thing Colin Cowherd does know, the Pittsburgh Steelers get him views, get him ratings. So he's always on the Steelers. Every other show, he's bringing the Steelers. Because he knows.
Yep, correct. Brings them up. I swear it's 1 to 2 times a week, every week.
Because he knows that gets views, that gets ratings.
And that's Pro Football Talk brings them up at least once a week, twice a week. Like you said, the Steelers, they sell, man. And that's
absolutely,
that's just the way it is.
All right, you listened to an interview that you liked from the Pivot with Najee Harris, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, dude. That the Pivot came out. Ryan Clark, Jane Crowder, and Fred Taylor, and they went ahead and interviewed Najee Harris and TJ Watt, and it was awesome. Like just to sit there and them get to know Najee, and like he talked about some interesting things that kind of turned some heads. Harris talked about how him and Saban didn't get along, that they really butted heads. He said that Saban would talk down to you and talk to you like he was above you, and Najee was like, dude, I don't take that shit. Like I don't put up with that. Like it's one thing you're my coach, but don't talk down to me like that. So then they collided heads a couple times, about 4 different times, I think you said. But the one time they really got into it, he left Alabama for 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
He just left and didn't come around for 2 weeks, and nobody knew that happened. Nobody. They did a excellent job hiding that at Alabama. I don't even know how they got away with it, honestly. But that was something I saw on Twitter getting a lot of the big eye emoji, holy shit. Okay. But he said that when they understood each other, and Saban, I guess, realized you're not going to talk to me this way, then they were okay. But that was that. And then he talked about going from place to place because they were didn't have a home, and just it was sad. I mean, he named off 7 different areas he lived in.
Wow. I've heard him talk about that in the past. I've seen another interview where he had a rough childhood.
It was just it was just sad to hear what he went through. And then he talked about being a leader. Mike Tomlin told him after the first season was over, we're going to talk, about you becoming a leader. And then he tagged Cam to be the guy to teach him, Hayward.
Good choice.
Absolutely. And Najee talked about how he's not even really that guy, and he's not really a media guy either. And you can tell that too, he'll how he gets with the media sometimes. And but it's also they were pointing out how great it is to watch him talk to the media, because then when he lets it out and is himself, it's very entertaining, and he's very, just the stuff he says. It got really weird though. Like,
You mentioned this.
yeah, Crowder, like I said, okay, so like, on the side, you hooking up with girls or whatever, like was trying to ask him, like, that side, picking up chicks and stuff. And like, dude, he didn't say a word. He didn't want to say anything about that whatsoever. And I mean, it got kind of awkward. Like he was just like, yeah, I'm basically a loner. I keep to myself. I don't really get involved with stuff. You're just sitting there like, dude, like, what? Like it was.
You can tell he's real. He's real. Private guy. You can tell he keeps a lot to himself. You can tell. You can tell the type.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that either. It is what it is.
No.
Not everybody can be super, popular and great with the media.
Better than him doing something stupid. Something stupid, like the guy up in Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh, I have another AB situation where it's too
or
much.
That too. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'll take him being quiet and to himself any day.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, we should probably touch on the Deshaun Watson suspension. I guess they negotiated an 11-game suspension, $5 million fine. To me, I'm kind of glad it's all over. I'm up to my ass in Deshaun Watson. Will he get? What's he going to get? 11 games doesn't seem totally fair, but at this point, let's just move on. Sick of hearing it.
Yeah, you knew they were going to negotiate. The players' team was going to get involved. They were going to negotiate. I'm sure they wanted a year, and I mean that's what you've been hearing is they want a year, and then they negotiated. And they're like, the judge. They probably said the judge said 6. You want a year. Let's find somewhere in the middle. And a lot of people predicted 12 games too, but I went to 11. And then did you see? Yeah, I was going to tell you. Did you see who? Despite what you're going to tell me, did you see who his first game is going to be against?
No, I didn't even look.
The Houston Texans.
That's right. I did hear that. That's right.
Dude, how the hell did they plan that so perfect?
What's funny, because I heard today that if he doesn't play 6 games this year, this season does not start for his contract. That's not an accrued season. So next season would be his first year. Like he'd be starting over. So he'd be making $1 million next year, like he was supposed to do this year.
You mean like he gets an extra year to play for them?
Yes. So that's why the NFL didn't want to give them an extra year with him. So they said it at 11 instead of 12. That's what I'm going to double check on that. But
wow, I'd have to look
into that. I heard it from a pretty good source, but that seems to be why they settled at 11. So he can get 6 games in this year and stop the clock ticking, which is fine,
Dude, that's crazy. Which that makes sense then why they did what they did.
Yeah. All right. To wrap
I didn't even get to touch on TJ.
Go ahead.
On that interview on the pivot. Yeah, dude, he revealed, and this was crazy too, that like he used to, I don't know if you knew this, right? He used to be a tight end in college.
Yes.
Okay, check this out. His knee popped, like I don't know, like it popped out of place or whatever. So he had to get that taken care of. Then the other knee popped out of place. It happened on both knees twice. That required him to get surgery. So then, basically, he thought he was done, and like he thought that he was going to have to become a firefighter like his dad. So he had a long talk with the Wisconsin coach, and the dude was just like, "Hey, man, why don't you make the switch to defense? Why don't you be, an outside linebacker, an edge rusher?" And he was like, "Okay." And now look at him.
Wow, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. And then
explains why he lasted so long in the draft too. Going what is it?
Yeah,
late 20s.
You're talking 4 knee injuries.
Yeah,
like that
makes sense.
Yeah, like it had me like worried, like holy crap, like at any moment this guy's kneecap could just pop and he's done. But They also tried to play that whole, are you better than your brother JJ and all that other stuff. And like, I won't say he took offense to it. Like, he was very serious. He was like, look, I have not yet lived up to that standard. He goes, you people need to understand the level he was playing at his peak. He was literally unstoppable.
Yeah, JJ was a monster.
Yeah. And I mean, he talked about that, how JJ didn't really wasn't hardcore in his business, like getting him ready for the NFL. Like, he said that JJ actually was kind of hands off too. Like, he didn't always get in his business with stuff. Like, he was kind of hands off too a little bit, in a good way. Like, it was interesting to hear that. But yeah, his dad was a firefighter, was a firefighter. And his mom, I guess, I remember correctly, she owned her own business, I think he said, or something like that. But he said that they provided them with the best of everything. If they did something, they went all out with it. Like, when they wrestled, they had wrestling mats down in the garage. If they played hockey, they had an ice rink in the back of the yard. Like, that's how their parents were. They went all out for their kids. So, but it was just a great interview between him and Najee. It was pretty cool to see the interview of both of them.
Oh, that's some good stuff there. All right, to wrap up the show, I did my 53-man roster prediction after the last preseason game, and I thought we'd roll through this a little bit, get your opinion on stuff, see if you agree or disagree on some of them, see how it is. So let's start at quarterback. I have the Steelers keeping 2. I know they usually keep 3, but you and I have talked about it a couple of times. We both think Mason's going to get traded at some point. They have Duke, and they can keep on the practice squad. They don't need a third. They've carried thirds forever. You've never seen them, except for the one year that Ben got hurt. So I have them keeping Trubisky and obviously Kenny Pickett and Trey.
Look, I've been saying this since the beginning. Like, they drafted Kenny Pickett number 20 overall. Like, this kid is not going to sit on Sundays with no hat. It's not happening. It's not happening.
And neither is Mason. He's too far along to be not being dressed on game day too.
Right. And I'm not saying that Mason should be the one not getting a hat and not, he deserves.
No, that's, I'm just saying that's why he's going to be traded.
Right. But they're gonna try to get, I think, a 5th for him. Was that you who told me that? I know I saw something. There was a rumor they're trying to get a 3rd for him.
I saw that today. If they get a 3rd for him, we can build a statue of Omar Khan right now.
They're not getting a 3rd for him. That's insane.
That seems rich for sure.
No, bro. If Baker Mayfield was had for a 5th,
yeah,
you're going to tell me that Rudolph's going to get a 3rd? I don't think so. Like, I'm thinking
Baker was making a lot more money, but your point is well made. It's just
if Mason keeps that QB rating above 100 throughout the preseason, looks good. Not, he forced some throws the other day, but that was really it.
Yeah.
If he can keep it like that, then I do think they can get a 5th or a 6th. I'll say 6th. I think they end up giving him up for a 6th.
Well, didn't they get a 4th for that's the quarterback that was the 3rd stringer for a while?
Oh, he plays for Cleveland now.
Yes.
He was a 5th.
He was a 5th. Mm-hmm. So that's 5th is fine. That's good value for a backup quarterback. All right, running back, I went with 3. I went Najee Harris, Anthony McFarland, and Jalen Warren. I did not have Benny Snell football. He hasn't played as of yet, and I think he's going to play this Saturday, but we're not 100% sure on that. Let's just face it; these other two. If Anthony McFarland plays like he played last week, these 2 guys are better than Benny Snell, and Benny Snell should not be on this roster.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you, but I've heard the counter to this is just that he is a stout special teams player.
Yes, he is.
And I was watching or saw something else too about Tomlin had him doing something. He was like the number 1 starter to do something. I can't remember what it was, but it was I don't know if it was protecting the punter or what it was, but it was something to where he had him being the guy out there doing it, and that
he's
was
definitely a key contributor in special.
And that was a direct sign that he's going to be staying. But after seeing McFarland play the way he did the other night, and then Jaylen Warren has now leaped into the number 2 spot. That's what they're saying. They're saying he's officially the number 2 back, which is crazy already after one preseason game. They're like,
He's been excellent. He's been excellent. And if he can give you 75% of what Benny Snell gives you on special teams, then it's a no-brainer. Then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with it. Like I told you, like that's what I want. I want it to be Najee, then Warren and McFarland, either or, just the way they've both been playing. Najee's just too slow. That's just my opinion. He's too slow.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, dude, there'll be a hole to the left. He goes to the right. Like I saw too many times of him getting nailed in the backfield. He was too indecisive. And then when he did, he hardly, he's not good enough, period.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, tight ends. This one's pretty easy. It's Pat Fryermuth, Zach Gentry, and our buddy Connor Hayward. Listen, I've been making fun of Connor Hayward since they drafted him, but I also have been saying that he's going to make the team no matter what. And he's been playing good. They've been raving about him in camp. Great pair of hands. Maybe he's a little better than I thought he was.
I agree. I changed my opinion as well. I've been pissed off since the draft that they drafted him in the 6th round. And now I'm like, you know what? I was wrong. That was a great pick. He is solid, dude. He's got great hands. Because in that game, there was a lot of passes that were not on the mark. And he still pulled him in. I was like, damn, this kid does have some pretty good hands. So for a third string tight end, okay. You know what?
I mean, he might be too small to be a inline blocking tight end, but they have Gentry and Fryermuth for that. He can come in and it's fine. I mean, it's not just the preseason game. It's almost every other day in camp you hear he made a great catch. Well, what a great catch. What a pair of hands. So maybe the Steelers saw something that we did.
Right.
So it's fine. Wide receivers, I have 6. Pretty chalk. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens, Calvin Austin, Miles Boykin, and Gunnar Olszewski. The only thing that worries me here is Calvin Austin's foot.
Yep.
I'm hoping he doesn't end up on the IR before the season starts.
Walking around that
boot,
dude.
The boot's off, but he's still limping. Foot injuries can be funny sometimes. It costs a lot of players a lot of time, so we'll see.
They haven't really went into detail about his ankle injury, have they? Like
no,
if they said it's high
ankle,
low ankle. I'm praying to God it's not like that Liz Frank injury like Bell had back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not something like that. But
if he is hurt, Steven Sims really impressed. Tyler Vaughn's had a nice 4th quarter the other night. They're loaded at wide receiver, but we're all hoping that Austin makes the team and plays. It'd be tough without, it'd be a tough break for the kid. Fullback, Derek Watt. I was teetering between not putting him on the roster at all, putting him. Here's my thing with fullback. The Steelers never use fullback, but 2 or 3 times a game. B, when they do use fullback, they can use Highsmith in that position too. So it's like they don't really need Watt. Yes, Watt is a great special teams, another great special teamer that you want, but Christ, I don't know. For $5 million a year, do they really need? If he wasn't TJ Watt's brother, he might not even be on this roster.
Here's my thing. I think one of these guys that is a special teams guy, one of them is going to go. And it's either going to be either Snell, Watt, or Kilbrew.
Yeah.
One of them is gone. Who
else is a good special teamers too is a linebacker there.
Will Allen?
What's that?
Allen?
Yeah, Marcus Allen. He's another one. Hasn't played.
Marcus Allen. Sorry.
He's a big special teams guy too. They have like 4 or 5 core. I tweeted it out the other day, and you're right. I'm on your boat. One of those guys is not going to make it. Is it Snell? Is it Watt?
Personally, I think it's going to be Watt because, dude, isn't it like $4.9 million or something like that? They're paying like they've paid him for what? And here's the other thing: you've got Connor Hayward.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right? It's dumb. It's dumb to pay this guy $4.9 million or whatever it is he's getting paid to be literally nothing but on special teams. They don't use him at fullback at all. Now that could change this year. Now, don't get me wrong, that could change this year. But up to this point, it hasn't, and there's no use Because if Connor Hayward can play fullback and if Connor Hayward can play special teams, what do you need Watt for? Other than to keep TJ happy. That's literally it.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the end, when they signed him, nobody could figure out why they needed it. They didn't use fullback back then when they first signed him. They signed him to a pretty big contract. It's like, why? But I guess if every penny's worth it, if it made TJ more comfortable and he ended up signing, and if that was one of the things, if he was on the fence, because, he held out most of the last year. Remember the preseason, signed late, held in, quote unquote. I doubt it had much to do with it, but if it did, it's money well spent. You got TJ signed. Tell Derek to hit the door.
Right. It's done deal, so he can go.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it too.
Offensive line, I have 8. Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, Mason Cole, James Daniels, Chooks, Okorafor, Joe Haig, Kendrick Green, our buddy, and JC Hassenauer. The depth on this offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
The depth on this offensive line is bad.
You already know this. Like, I really like Leglue.
Leglue could make it.
I think he's a solid backup guard that apparently can swing to tackle. I told you how he was listed that on either ESPN or one of them had him listed there. And it was like, I could have sworn last year he played nothing but guard or whatever. But yeah, I think it was Alex Azora. He had a thing with him. He had a video and he said, look how good, Leglue's doing really good. And this showed him doing very well in that preseason game. So and look, last year he did well too. Remember?
Yep.
I think he did really well. I think there was only one game where he struggled, but they're facing one of those teams that had a stout D line, a top D line. He's going to do as good as a backup would do most time. You know what I'm saying? So I think Leglue's one, and I'm excited about this Dunkel.
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, I'll see how he does.
I'm excited about him too. So that's the thing about this preseason game is there's actually a lot of guys that I'm interested to see. And if we're going to do a little bit of the pregame for tomorrow, I'll get to some of that too.
Yeah. Kendrick Green is supposedly starting again. He's officially ahead of Dotson now, which is a nightmare for the Steelers, because if he's better than Dotson, then that's an issue. That position is an issue. Period.
I think it's another case of a dude not showing he's motivated.
Man, there's something with Dotson, because he brought this up before. The team, Tomlin's not enamored with him.
Well, he rolled his ankle. I saw something on Twitter. He rolled his ankle, got mad, punched the damn ground. He was frustrated, and it's just maybe that ankle injury just really is lingering. I have no idea. But there's something up. It's been like this since last year. Tomlin, like you said, is not happy with him. So I think this is going to be a swift kick in the nuts to him. Hey, keep screwing around here, and you're not starting. But Kendrick Green is not the answer. I saw the thing on Twitter too. He showed some flash, but then I saw the one where he got put on his ass about 3-4 times too. That's well, that's the Kendrick Green I know.
Yeah, that's him. Always getting pushed into the.
Dude,
let's hope.
Serious. Look, honestly, I honestly think that if they're literally thinking that Kendrick Green is their best shot there, they're going to sign somebody. They are going to sign somebody.
You can't go into the season with
trade for somebody or whatever. They're out there, dude. Like I said, you could easily, and I'll say this again, bring in Trotter, slide Cole over. Fixed.
Yeah.
Fixed. And you improve by so much. I don't know if people understand how much that would improve the O-line, having somebody like Treader at center and then swing Cole over to guard and getting rid of the black hole that we have there.
I'm with you 100%.
He's not going to want that much. I don't think he would, but that's the route I would go. But and it might happen. We'll see. But I don't know, man. It's just, good Lord, Kendrick Green. We're really going to do this again. And you want to know why? It's all because they drafted him where they did.
Yeah.
That's all this is about.
They're trying to save face. Yeah.
Yep. It's the same thing with him, Bush. They're just trying to save face with these guys that they drafted that haven't panned out. That's all this is about. And it's stupid. This is the part about the Steelers that pisses me off. It's that arrogance or they're too proud or whatever the hell you want to call it, that they'll just, live and die with these guys.
And now
And
James Daniels on the other guard spot isn't playing good. He's had a terrible training camp. He did not have a good game Saturday night. This offensive line, for me, I thought, well, it's fixed to an extent. It's going to be better. And now I'm back to almost where I was at the beginning of last year. Like, this could be a train wreck. This could very well be a train wreck.
Yeah. Well,
if Daniels isn't good, they're in big trouble. I
just think that they're going to rely heavily on Najee. And
they're going to get him killed. That's what's going to end up happening. Because they almost got him killed last year.
Right. But I'm just saying, I think that's what they're going to rely heavy on is Najee, the running game. Use it to set up the pass. The thing for me, though, is that they got so many freaking weapons now on
you don't want
wide receiver.
Run the ball.
Like don't do that. Like, don't just rely heavily on that. But I forget who it was. It might have been Deontay Johnson said something like that. People think they're going to just run the ball. No, we're going to be a prolific. Pat. He didn't say prolific, but he said they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah, I think Matt Canada prefers to throw the ball around. We'll see. So flipping over to the defense now, defensive line. This is what I wrote in the article. They are 70. If everyone's healthy come week 1, they're going to keep 7. They don't usually ever keep 7, but they have to. There's too much talent there. Somebody's going to get hurt along the way.
I guess you're right, because if Alu is healthy, you said that the only other defensive tackle they actually have, true or nose tackle, you said was Montavious Adams, right?
Yeah, and he's hurt right now.
And that's the guy I was saying was going to go. But if he's still hurt, then they can put him on the pup. And but I'm telling you right now, dude, if they don't have to start the season, Alu, Ogunjobi, and Hayward, they're in trouble. I have not seen anyone other than those 3 impress me stopping the run at all. I have not seen it.
Me either.
And I pray because
they were bad. The backups were bad last year.
Because Cam wrote his ankle yesterday or day before yesterday, and everybody gasped like, "Oh no!" And then I guess it's not that serious. Because
I don't think he's going to play Saturday, but
because I'm telling you, like they lose just one of them. It don't matter which 3 it is. One of those 3, they lose Alu or Ogunjobi or Hayward. They're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah. We talked about it last week.
You got one linebacker that can freaking tackle. And
we talked about it last week. This defense is good, very good, but they're thin.
Yes.
One key injury, and it's like a dominoes, and it's all going to fall apart. Well, here's my 6: Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, Isaiah Loudermilk, Montravius Adams, Chris Wormley, DeMarvin Leal. I'm going out on a limb and saying I think Tyson Alualu is going to get hurt again. If he doesn't, he's on the team. And then we'll have to refigure it. But that's the way I see it right now. Inside linebacker, and this is Miles. I had 5: Miles Jack, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, Buddy Johnson, and Mark Robinson.
Yep.
We just haven't seen Marcus Allen play, so until he gets on the field, you can't pencil him in.
No, I agree.
Can't.
And look, that's the thing I feel bad for these guys about is that when you get injured in this time frame, it's literally the worst time to get injured.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fringe guy, like I'd be scared to death to get injured.
Yeah, because somebody's going to take your spot. No doubt about it.
So I feel bad for these guys that have gotten injured. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that's definitely going to be the 5 linebackers that end up on the 53, even though I want one of them gone yesterday. But yeah.
They could go 4 there, but I think they'll go 5. Outside linebacker at 5'2", TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, no brainers. Janad Avery, Hamilcar, Rashid, and Derek Tuska. Boy, they need somebody to step up as that third pass rusher.
They do.
I wrote in the article, hopefully Hamilcar could be that guy. He had a sack in the game. I think he had 14 sacks his junior year at Oregon State.
Is refresh my memory. Avery was hurt last week, right?
Yes.
Is he healthy this week?
Yes, he's supposed to play this week.
So that's going to be a big thing. Okay.
Yeah, Avery is the other one. We'll see. Cornerbacks, I have them keeping 6. A lot of people only have them keeping 5. I have Akilla Witherspoon, Cam Sutton, Levi Wallace, Arthur Mollett, Justin Lane, and James Pierre. It could be a competition between Pierre and Lane for that last spot. There might not be that sixth spot. We'll see. I mean, I struggle to find other players to put on if you take one of these corners out because it's.
Well, I added Steele.
Steele's a possibility.
Well, the only reason why I won't say I added him. I'm gonna say I put Lane and Steele, or Steele and Pierre, or Lane. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those three is gone, right? So Steele is doing good did good at training camp. We just didn't see it in the first game. So I'm looking to see what he does. And then Lane's a third round pick, correct? If I remember correctly, they drafted him third. And like this is year 3 for him. Mm-hmm. So I mean, dude, shit or get off the pot, right? This is it. If you're still not showing anything, then he could be gone. But I'll be interested.
Pierre's running ahead of him in camp. So
wait, who's running ahead of
Pierre who? Pierre's running ahead of Lane in camp.
See, dude, that kid could be gone. But like I said, back to that arrogance and that, we're not going to admit we were wrong. We're going to ride this out. So I think that it's going to be a lot harder for Steele not to make the team.
Yeah, he's going to end up in practice squad more than likely.
But dude, if he comes in this game,
yeah, he's a lot riding on this game. Yeah,
gets a pick or makes a couple plays. I mean, there he is because he's been doing it in camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Well, those are the three I look at as they're the ones fighting for that last spot. That's the way I look at it.
I agree, 100%. All right, safeties. I had 5: Minka Fitzpatrick, Terrell Edmonds, DeMonte Casey, Trey Norwood, and Miles Killebrew. Miles Killebrew is going to get his ass on the field. He might be the special teams guy that hits the road. He makes a little bit of money. He doesn't offer you anything as a safety. He's strictly a special teams guy. So he's missed most of camp.
The thing about this is I love this group. I love the safety group. Dude, between Minka and Edmonds is solid now. And Kazi, dude, is a tackling, a great tackling safety. And again, he has to be that because we have a linebacker that can't tackle. But anyways, and then you got Trey Norwood who can cover, he's great.
Excellent. He's
great awesome. Cover safety. Dude, that group, and then Norwood is his special teams demon, really. Mm-hmm. Again, he's the one I got in parentheses right here, cap casualty. He could be the guy. I'm sorry, not cap casualty. I'm sorry, 53-man casualty, because are you going to pay him if you have some of these other younger guys can do it almost as good as him? Yeah. So I don't know. I
went back and forth on him.
Yeah, right.
He could be gone.
I don't know. It's like I told you. If I had to pick one of those three, it's definitely Watt that's going. He's making the most out of the three I mentioned, out of Killebrew, him, and Benny Snell. So Watt's definitely got to go. Derek, he's got to go. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, if I had to pick, it would be the Watt Killebrew, because neither one of them gives you anything, for the regular team. So
the only reason why I mentioned Benny Snell is they're not going to keep 4 running backs.
No, I mean, I guess they could, but with Najee Harris getting so many carries, you're just going to have 3 guys there staring at each other most of the time. And then one guy comes in for a couple snaps and it's right back to Najee again. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to have 4 running backs.
No.
Because they don't rotate backs at all. So
I don't know. Like I said, out of all that group, they're not going to keep 4 running backs. Watt's making way too much money to sit on the bench most of the time, except for when they kick the ball off. I don't know. I think it's got to be him. And then Snell. If I had to go in order, I would rank gone, most likely be gone. It'd be Watt, then Snell, and then Killebrew.
Okay. Wrap it up. Special teams. We got Chris Boswell, kicker, no brainer. Presley Harvin, they cut the other punter, so he's in, and long snapper Christian Coates. So basically, it's 48 guys that are locked in, and it's the last 5 that are fighting for those last few roster spots. This team's pretty well set for the most part. We'd like to see, like you said, one of these offensive linemen, like the new kid, Dunkel, hit and bounce one of the green or Dotson out. Wide receivers, everyone's healthy. It's set. If defensive line, if everyone's healthy, that's set. Just those last 5 spots, the special teams guys, backups that are.
Yeah, I'm not.
And then whether Mason makes the team or not. All right, to wrap up the show, let's go over the game Saturday night. They're playing the Jaguars, 8:00, right, in Jacksonville.
Yep.
I'm telling you, the starting offensive line is going to be tested because the Jaguars have the #1 overall pick on one side, and I wrote their names down so I wouldn't forget. Trayvon Walker was the #1 pick overall, and Josh Allen on the other side. We're going to find out real quick how good Chooks and Dan Moore are.
Right.
And Kenny Pickett's going to find out, and Mitch Trubisky's going to find out how good they are too.
And that's why they're doing this. I mean, it's in a different stadium. He's going to face the ones out there. Like, this is going to be a great test for him. And I'm looking very forward to watching it. And that's what I have wrote down here for the preview of the game. Like, I have wrote down that is Pickett going to prove that he should be the #2 or better. That's what I put. I put or better. Because if he goes out there against the ones and balls out, that's going to make things a little interesting, dude. Especially if Trubisky, say Trubisky struggles, say he throws a pick, just doesn't look good. Kenny comes in 2 series later and they just go right down the field and scores a touchdown. Like, that's gonna happen,
fun,
dude.
This will be interesting. Yeah, Kenny gets to play with the ones.
This is the most fun I've had with preseason in years. I've never had this much fun with the preseason. Like, it's great. Like, it's been 18 years since we've had to worry about the quarterback position.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's been really fun. But no, that's what I had for the whole QB thing for the game tomorrow night. And then I had for O-line, just the fact that Kendrick Green is starting over Dotson.
Mm-hmm.
Can he, come out and maybe do better and actually maybe prove, and I know it's not going to happen, but could he prove us wrong? That'd be crazy. But, the more reps he gets, maybe, I don't know, but
it's his job to win now, right? All he has to do is not be terrible.
Right. Did they say Dotson's not playing at all, or is Dotson?
No, Dotson's going to play. They're going to rotate him.
Oh,
but
okay.
But Kendrick Green's starting, so
all right,
shows you he's above Dotson to start out. And he's been above him in camp too. So we'll see. It's a big test for this offensive line. Like I said, we're finally going to get to see Deontay Johnson play. We're going to get to see Minka play, TJ Watt play. They all didn't play the first game. This will be fun. Cam Hayward was going to play, but I doubt he plays now. Tyson Alualu is going to play.
Well, what's funny is we talked about, because it's a 3-game preseason now, where they're going to use the second game as their run through, like they do when it was 4 games. Remember, it was that 3rd game.
It sounds like they are. That's what's going to happen.
And it sounds like that is exactly what they're going to do, is that this is going to be their dress rehearsal. And that's another thing about Pickett. This is the dress rehearsal, and they're still letting Pickett go. Pickett's getting a look with the ones. So it's okay. That's why Colin Cowherd's saying that shit, I think.
Yep.
But
it makes sense. It does make sense. His overall point is right. I mean, Pickett has outplayed Mason Rudolph lately. He is running the second team now. Cowherd's right with all the other stuff he said too, about, as much as I hate to agree with him, he is a 4-year starter. He's an experienced kid coming out of college, more experienced than most. He did play in Heinz Field / Acrisure Stadium his whole career. So he's familiar with that. He does have a very good head coach, very stable situation, albeit a defensive head coach, but still a good head coach. And a talented offense around him. He's got a great back. He's got great receivers. So, yeah, he's got a lot going for him. But you can say the same things about Mitch Trubisky, and Mitch Trubisky's got 3 years of starting experience too.
Dude, Trubisky lit the defense up yesterday.
He played great.
Well, no, he lit the defense up in practice. Was it yesterday? Had a 99-yard bomb to freaking DJ. And then he had another. Dude, Trubisky's been doing great. That's what I'm saying. Colin Cowherd, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Trubisky's been doing great. It's just stupid.
I can't wait to see. All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I can't wait to see. We're not sure if Najee's going to play either. I should mention that, but I would love to see Najee The Steelers in a 3 wide receiver set with Claypool in the slot, DJ and Pickens, and Freiermuth all out at once. That's going to be their base offense all year long, and I cannot wait to see it. We might not see Najee, but we should see the rest.
Oh man, some of them catches they've been showing Muth make. Good Lord, dude.
They could be very tough to stop if everyone plays up to their capabilities. This offense could be very, very good.
It's the dynamic. It's the dynamic offense that we talked about wanting to see before the draft, and it happened. They drafted 2 guys. I mean, Allison's not playing now, but still, like this is legit. Could be something big, and I can't wait to see it.
You want to go to Canada has a mobile quarterback now. He can run his bootlegs and his all this stuff that he likes to do and not worry about it. He can Ben hated to be under center too. He always wanted to be a shotgun all the time, which limits some of the stuff you can do, especially Matt Canada stuff.
Yep.
So I can't wait. That's the one thing I'll be most looking forward to seeing on Saturday night is the starting offense.
Yep.
All together at once. Let's see it roll. I want to see Mitch Trubisky roll.
I want to see the battle between Jaylen Warren and McFarland. I want to see if Warren getting bumped all the way to 2 already. I want to see how McFarland responds to that.
Yeah, and if McFarland wants to beat out Snell, he's going to have to, build on his last performance. It can't just be one good performance and then go back to shitty Anthony McFarland. He needs to have back-to-back good performances to show this is who he is. I mean, the dude was patient. The dude was decisive last week. This is not, think about all the memories of Anthony McFarland the last couple of years. Like his legs are going, but he's not going anywhere. He's hesitating. He stops
dancing, dancing in the backfield. Yeah,
and then the complete opposite last week.
And then I want to see this. Is it Borgie? Is that how you pronounce his name? Like I want to see him too. Like, is this guy really like another bowling ball guy like Warren, and like Tig? Like,
that's definitely the type now.
I want to see what this guy can do too. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Another thing that I don't know if a lot of people are thinking about is the wide receiver battle between Boykin and Sims for that 6th spot. Like, dude, if Sims has another game like he did the other night, they might have to really consider that. If Boykin just has this, 2 catches again? Now, don't mind me, they're pretty nice catches, but if that's all he has and Sims looks dynamic again, I can't remember if it was you or who it was on Twitter. Somebody made the comment that he showed flashes of 84.
Yeah, that was somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be crazy here. But yeah, he kind of did. And it was 80, it was Brown's rookie year.
Yep.
It was the same flash. It was like, wow, like this kid's dynamic on special teams. And here we are. This kid's doing the same thing. And in fact, it wasn't even just on special teams. He had that run for what was 50-yard run or whatever the hell it was. So that's what turned heads. And so I'm really interested to see because Boykin's this great big guy, great hands, tough, strong, but speed. Sims kid's so dynamic and speed, and that's what the NFL is now. It's a speed offense. And so Boykin should be nervous. But anybody, but the other 5 that you listed on your 53-man, I think are all locked in. I think that's definitely going to be it. If say Calvin Austin does get put on the pup to start the season, then I think Sims makes the team.
Yeah, I think it would be Sims. That kid Vaughn's looked pretty good in the 4th quarter too. I want to see more of him. He's the one that had that touchdown late. And
Vaughn's not bad. Yeah, Vaughn's not bad. He did good. I mean,
I'll be interested to see how he does again.
The way I look at it is they can't keep everybody.
Yeah, no, they can't keep it. Unfortunately, they can't.
So, but I do strongly believe, literally instantly, when whatever kid gets cut, they're getting snagged. Like they're not making it to the practice squad.
I would like to hope that Sims makes it to the practice squad, but you might be right. He might get snatched up.
Do you remember? I think the kid's last name is Spencer.
Oh yeah, he ended up going to Denver. I was pissed off to freaking end.
Was doing awesome, and they cut him, and Denver scooped him right up.
Yeah, and he ended up running the kickback for a touchdown that. Yeah.
Yep.
And the Steelers never have any returners ever.
Didn't he lead the league in average per return too? Like, dude, that was just
Yep.
God, that was so stupid to let him go,
And
but whatever.
I can't remember why they cut him. They cut him to keep somebody that I don't remember. It escapes me, but
I know who
somebody
it was. It was that shorter. We traded for him. He was with Dallas.
was he a receiver?
I'm trying. Yes, he was a wide receiver, short kid, short guy, little guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What the hell is
Yes.
his name? He's out of the league now.
Remember, he even made T-shirts. There,
Switzer.
Switzberg. He made Switzberg T-shirts the year he got cut by them, and it was like, dude, you should have cut him a year earlier and kept that Spencer kid because he was legit.
He was Ben Roethlisberger loved him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they kept him around for so long. And he was horrendous.
Yeah, that was an epic.
That's a good call. That's a good call on you for remembering that, because I had forgotten. I spent that whole season making fun of Switzer every time he returned a punt because he'd run 3 steps and get killed.
I don't have a great,
no speed, no.
I don't have a great memory, but I always remember the bad screw ups. I remember the bad a lot more than the good for some reason.
On defensive side of the ball, I'd like to see the defensive line, those backups play better than they did last week.
Oh, I want to, dude. So talking about who's going to be the number 3 edge, right?
Yep.
I want to see this Justin Vaughters guy. Is it Justin or James Vaughters they brought in? Because he had a decent rating when he was fully healthy with the Falcons, I believe. So he could end up being a guy that could be the 3.
I'll take anybody at this point. Anybody.
So I'm interested to see him play on defense. I want to see.
I wouldn't put Alo out there at all. I wouldn't even risk it. We know he's good. We know what he can do. Put that dude in bubble wrap until the season starts.
I agree. I think it's more important for them to figure out who their depth is going to be.
Oh, you know what, too? Larry Ogunjobi hasn't practiced the last 2 days in a row, so nobody seems to know what's going on with him. We might not even see him on Saturday night.
He's looked good, though. He's done good in camp.
Yes. They need him.
Yeah.
They need him as a depth guy for sure. Linebackers, we all want to see Devin Bush do something. Make us feel better. Do anything. Or somebody behind him stepping up. Maybe Mark Robinson have a good game.
There you go. That's what I want to see. See, that's what I have down here. For my key thing is I want to see Robinson's improvement. Because it's going to be a slow burn with him. Because he's newer to the position. He runs downhill. He can tackle, and he's not afraid of contact. It's just in coverage, he's still a liability. And I want to see.
That's not his thing.
And I want to see if he's starting to click a little bit, where he's not a liability out there as much.
Someone on Twitter called him Vince Williams 2.0. I think that's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah,
good tackler, thumper, not great in coverage, but
I could
late round guy.
I could see Vince. That. I could see that eventually. I could definitely see that. Definitely down the road a little bit, but I mean, I just want to see if it's starting to click for him a little more. And I'm not expecting that much. I mean, like, my God, it's only the first preseason game. This will be the second one. So, but he got his first taste of NFL caliber. Facing an NFL caliber offense. So, I just want to see if there's any growth at all in anything with him, really. Because I was pretty upset about the pick, and now I'm kind of like, all right, maybe they do got something here eventually. This is going to be a slow burn. That's all. But no, him, I want to see what Vaughters can do. I want to see if Steele or Lane or Pierre, one of them guys, step up,
set themselves apart from the other, right?
Yeah, big tackle, something like that. I want to see what they do. I want to see more of Kazi. I want to see him do, like, he can tackle, dude. Like, I was impressed with his tackle. I was like, damn, all right. So I want to see if they're a little more, maybe, a couple more pass defenses, a pick, whatever, something. See what he can do, because I thought he was just going to be Edmonds 2.0, but I don't know, man. He could end up being a little more than that, maybe.
Hopefully. That might be a real good signing. Turn out to be a real good signing. I'd like to see how Trevor Lawrence does against our defense. That'll be fun to watch. See how he does against TJ Watt breathing down his neck. And
Trevor Lawrence, you got Travis Etienne. He's going to be a wide receiver. And then that Robbins. Yeah. Yes. I I was watching or listening to something today, and it was something about AT&T is going to go bumped out to wide receiver, and it's going to be Robinson who's the starting running back. Which I don't blame him. Robinson did really well like 2 years ago as a rookie.
He did.
Like I was like, dude, I was like, why in the hell would they draft Travis Etienne when they got Robinson? It didn't make sense to me. But that's Urban Meyer for it.
I loved Trevor Lawrence in college. I love watching him beat Alabama because I can't stand Alabama. So yeah, it'll be fun.
I thought Lawrence was a lock, to be a hell of a QB.
Well, you know what? If there was ever a dumpster fire, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars last year.
It was.
Coach, that team, that owner is kind of a knucklehead. They should all get a pass for last year. No,
I agree. The only thing I got left for tomorrow is we finally get to see Presley Harvin. And dude, I don't know if you've been paying attention. Like, he is kicking the ever living shit out of the ball. He is doing very well. And I'm
live action now, dude.
And I'm really happy. Right. And I'm happy for the kid. And I'm hoping. And look, I know I've shit on him in the past, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see the kid succeed either. You know what I'm saying? Like he went through a lot last year. So if it legit was what was bothering him, okay then. But it sounds like the practice he's kicking, he's having some ridiculous punts. So I can't wait to see, I just want to see him boot one like 60 freaking yards, hang times like 6 seconds. Like, I just want to see something awesome from this kid, and hope that he is what they thought he was, when they drafted him. So we'll see.
Yeah, I wrote on my 53-man roster prediction, this could be the best special teams unit the Steelers have had in forever. Good punter. They got a great kicker. Olszewski should be a good returner. Or Austin could be a good returner. They should be good. They got a ton of special teams.
Dude,
experts.
This team has a chance to have the best special teams they've had in a long time. The best offense they've had in 4 years, we'll say. I'm starting to think back to when it was Bell, Brown. We'll say Bryant, maybe. 5 years ago. So
5 years ago.
So like, this could be the best offense we've had in that many years, but yet all of national media is saying, 7 wins. Dude, DraftKings has them right now at 7.5 wins. That's it.
It's interesting. I go back and forth on this team.
Well,
the better the offense plays.
I'm about to bet that. I'm about to bet the over because I think it's easy money. I'm telling you now. I think they're going to win. I'm going to say around 9-10 wins.
When we
I don't want to make a prediction yet, but that's what I'm thinking.
The week before the season starts, we should do a prediction show. That's what we'll do. We'll predict their record. We'll predict, different things. Who leads the team receiving and stuff. We'll have fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for that because like I said, I think they're going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm generally pessimistic, but this team's starting to win me over. I'm starting to get excited.
It's just the run defense.
The run defense and health. They stay healthy.
Yep.
If they stay healthy, even if their run defense isn't that good, I still think they can be a 10-win team.
Yes. Well, they've got one linebacker as opposed to none last year.
Yes.
I think they're
Spillane Jack is not the worst thing in the world.
But here's the thing, and we talked about this too, and I've been reading it, and it's sounding like they're going to go more dime anyways.
Yes.
Because of Devin Bush sucking ass. Like they're gonna lean that way, going dime. So, dude, like it might not even matter. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we spent all this time.
And I know it's going to be predicated on what kind of offense they're facing. Like I get all that, but that's what all these teams are going to anyways to try to stop the Chiefs and the Bills and the Bengals. That's what they're going to. That's what they're using. You got to have more defensive backs out there to stop this prolific offenses. So if that means getting Bush off the effing field, good. Like, I'm down with that. Please put Trey Norwood out there more or Kazi more. Whatever it takes. They both can cover, tackle. Like, I'm fine with that. I really am.
It's big, right? If Alu plays well and plays all season, they won't need the need for the extra linebacker won't be as great because they'll be stopping the run at the line of scrimmage and they won't need the 2 run stuffing linebackers. They can bring an extra safety in and play that way. Goes back to Alu's 35 and injury prone and blah blah blah. So we cross our fingers and hope for the best. Because there is a world where this all falls into place and this team rolls.
Right.
The pieces are in place. You know,
it's the emergence of George Pickens as a rookie. That's something that I don't think people were counting on.
No, nobody's over the top.
Nobody's counting on a rookie wide receiver to be that dynamic. Look at Jefferson for Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Look at Chase for the Bengals. No one saw that coming.
Yeah,
no one did. And look what happened when he was just like, holy shit, these guys are legit right out the chute. But yeah, it could be a really great season, and I God, I can't wait. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Like I can't wait till tomorrow. It's a damn preseason game, dude, and I am legit. This is the most excited I've been for preseason maybe ever. Like
I think all Steelers fans are, because there's so much to be optimistic about right now.
Oh, I mean,
you just want to see the quarterbacks keep doing well, and everything else will fall into place, basically.
Because last game, you're trying to keep yourself in check because it's a preseason game, first game. But that way they play, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So it's just, but yeah, no, I can't wait till tomorrow night, dude.
All right, that wraps up this week's podcast. We're probably gonna do a Sunday one, right? You think we'll do after?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll
absolutely. I'm down. Let's do it.
Excellent. So until Sunday, you can find me on Twitter at SteelersSank16. You can find Dave at M_Corum. You can find my blog on SteelersSanctuary.com. You can find the podcast at Steelers Sanctuary on iTunes and all your favorite downloading sites. And now you can find us on YouTube too. At Steelers Sanctuary, World Domination continues. Until Sunday, thank you and good night.